So we have here a Tube Screamer, TS9 to be specific. This is the Ibanez reissue TS9. And this particular Tube Screamer, I don't know if it will show up too well, this has been modified by AnalogMan, so by analogman.com or analogman.com. And this particular one, just so you know, is the silver mod. And let's see what else. Oh, the true bypass switch. So if you go up to the site, you can get the same thing. This is an awesome pedal, and it's a good bass pedal, but then when you put AnalogMan's silver mods into it, it's just awesome. It is such a classic tone. If you're really looking for that classic blues sound, I don't know that you get better than this one. I mean, there's different pedals, okay? And everybody's going to have an opinion, and you're welcome to post yours in the comments. But for my money, you just don't get a better classic tone than through one of the Ibanez TS9s. I've played the Ibanez TS808, the TS9, the TS9DX, and I like them all. They all give really good tone. So I guess it's not really particularly the TS9, but I love the Tube Screamer, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this video and why you might not want to watch this. This video is specific to a Vox AC30 with a Strat. So let me just suggest, if you are either A, not familiar with the Vox, or B, not interested in buying a Vox, then this might not be the best video for you. I've got an almost identical video on using a Fender-based amp, a Fender Twin, and you might be more comfortable watching that depending on what your sound is that you're going for. Personally, I tend to like the Tube Screamer with the Fender-based amps more so than I do the Vox. But that doesn't mean that it's not right. Everybody has an opinion. I'm just one dude, okay? So just because I don't like it doesn't mean that it's not the greatest sound in the world to your ears. So don't let me dissuade you from the sound of this compared to something else. Okay? I'm just one guy, okay? So I'm talking too much, and I'm sorry. I tell you what, let's zero out our sound. Let's kind of get our ears even. And what I mean by that is we need to hear what the bass sound of the amp is. So we're going to run this in two different sets. I'm going to do the normal channel, and then we'll do the gain channel, and we'll play with both of them here. So here's the basic tone of the amp. I've got just a Stratocaster, one of the Eric Johnson Strats here. I tend to prefer, with my Vox AC30, either the neck pickup or the out of phase between the middle and the neck pickup. I think that's it. I've got my tone knobs all the way up. And the volume all the way up on the guitar here. So here's just the basic tone. And see, I love that tone. So, you know, not everybody digs that sound. Not everybody's from a blues standpoint today thinks that's the best. I love my Vox. I think it's just heaven. I think it's great. So that's a pure tone. And to me, that's often my bass sound. I mean, without pedals or with anything, this is what I like to go with. I mean, it just sounds crunchy. It's really nice. This is, just so you know, this is a Custom Classic 2. And I've got it set to vintage sound on the back, and I've got it set to warm. Some of you may not know what that means, and that's cool too. The tone cut is about halfway. I'm playing on just the normal channel. I do not have reverb. I think that adding reverb in here, this room tends to pick up a lot of reverb anyway, and so it tends to, if I add it in the amp, colorize the sound a little bit too much. So here, let's take a look here. What I like to do with a pedal when I first get it is I like to try to zero it out as much as possible. And what I mean by that is I like to try to get to the point of the pedal where when I turn it on, I find it difficult to tell that the pedal is on. I usually, with most pedals, you can just dial them up at halfway. Not so with an overdrive pedal. You know, you put the gain up at halfway, then you're going to be rocking pretty hard. So I'm going to turn the gain down, but then I've got the tone knob about halfway and the level about half. So basic sound, this is the amp, and then here's the pedal. It's a little crunchier, but it's not really much, right? It's kind of a zeroed out tone. So here's the bass amp. Tight, real punchy. A little grittier to me, I think. So, you know, here's just the basic sound. I've got the gain almost all the way down. Really a nice, comfortable tone, but you know, why have a pedal like this if you're not going to give it a little more gain? So I'm keeping, the only thing I'm changing right here is the gain, and it's at about a third or so. A really cool rhythm sound, a really nice little lead tone. Let's keep it going up a little bit. And you know what, with the Vox, I don't see much reason to take the tone and move it anywhere out of the middle. If I roll down and into the bass area, here's what it sounds like. It's just too much in my mind. It takes too much out. If I roll it into the treble, listen, I'll be quiet and you listen to the circuit and see if you can hear the hiss that it adds in. All I did was dial in the treble. And I can hear it. I hope it comes across. I don't know if it will. But it just it's hard to listen to. I won't make you listen to it. You know, that's just a little bit too bright for me. So I tend to put it right about in the middle. Now, funnily enough, on my Twin, or on a Pro Reverb, a Fender-based amp, I'm probably going to dial it back to where there's more bass into it, but not so with the Vox. Let's put the gain at maybe 2/3. It still sounds good despite my playing and the mistakes that you find there. I love the tone of this thing right way up there at, 15th fret or... My playing's kind of jumping all over the place today, but you get the idea, I hope, with the tone. And if I crank it all the way up, which... to be honest, I'm not really a crank it all the way up with the gain kind of player. I'm a little more comfortable with less dirt, but it sounds still really, really good. So that's the normal channel, and that's kind of maxing it out. So let me switch us over to the top gain channel. Excuse me real quick. Let's get a basic sound. I don't use it that dirty. Let me, it's not dirty enough. I'm probably more comfortable about here. Just making sure I didn't have the normal channel in the gain, but that's it. That's a... real punchy sound. That's the real classic Vox sound to me. Real classic. So here's what it sounds like. Let's do a third. We'll do it in steps of a third. Here's a third. right, so that's at 1/3. Here's 2/3.